162 years ago, on October 5, 1855, gunfire erupted across Toppenish Creek. Kamiakin was the Indian chief of a tribe called the Yakama. Originally, the chief made a deal with the settlers. This deal put the Yakama tribe, along with 13 other tribes, on a large reservation, and in favor, the settlers got their share of land for mining and settlement. However, Kamiakin decided that this deal was unfair to him and the other tribes. He put together a group including the Yakama tribe, along with several other tribes, to rise up in rebellion against the settlers to regain their land. This added tension to the relationship between the two groups. The Yakama chief Kamiakin had 300 Native American warriors in his group at the time. However, Mayor Granville O'Haller's white army only consisted of 84 soldiers. As they battled, the mayor realized that he was heavily outnumbered, causing him to retreat. Although this standoff had ended, the Yakama Indian War between the Indians and the white settlers had only started. Violence broke out in the Columbia River Gorge, in the Puget Sound area, and in many other various locations throughout current-day Washington and Oregon. The U.S. Army at Fort Vancouver captured a band of Cowlitz and Klickitat Indians and ordered them to move to encampments next to the fort as a form of protective custody to prevent them from possibly participating in future attacks against the settlers. This group of Indians included an Indian chief named Chief Umtouch. Fort Vancouver was a fur trading that was the headquarters of the Hudson Bay Company's Columbia Department, located in the Pacific Northwest. Named after Captain George Vancouver, the fort was located on the northern bank of the Columbia River in present-day Vancouver, Washington. The fort was a major center of the regional fur trading. Furs from Fort Vancouver were often shipped to a Chinese port, where they were traded for Chinese-manufactured goods for sale in the United Kingdom. At its pinnacle, Fort Vancouver watched over 34 outposts, 24 ports, 6 ships, and 600 employees. In November 1855, rumors spread that a group of Indians planned to kill the settlers that had them in protective custody. This caused the fearful settlers to plan an attack on the Indians in custody. When word spread of the attack, Chief Umtouch put together a group of Indians to escape with him. After they correctly executed their plan, they fled east to safety in the Cascade Mountains. When the settlers heard of the escape, they sent a cavalry company of the territorial militia led by Captain William Strong in pursuit of Chief Umtouch and his group. Winter had started, and it had grown cold in the previous days. At the time, the captain was providing blankets to the white settlers that didn't have warmth. Therefore, he hadn't planned on being sent in pursuit of anyone. Captain William Strong was born in St. Albans, Vermont, on the 15th of July, 1817. At the age of 17, he entered Yale College, from which he graduated with distinguished honors in the class of 1838. He had made progress in his studies to secure a license to practice law in 1840. In time, he became the judge that he wanted to be. In 1855, he volunteered to serve in the Yakama Indian War. He was quickly put in the position of captain and later became the leader of a cavalry company of the territorial militia, and was sent towards the Cascade Mountains in pursuit of a group of Indians led by Chief Umtouch that had escaped from protective custody. Much violence was expected of the two groups when they met. Exact dates are hard to come by, but on or around November 7, 1855, Captain Strong and his cavalry company caught up to the chief and his group at a valley called the Old Burn, near present-day Battleground Lake. The Old Burn got its name from a devastating forest fire that broke out and burned the entire valley to ashes. After long, hard negotiations, both sides agreed to return the next day and find a solution to the problem. At the time, both the captain and the chief didn't want to get into a big battle. The next day, the captain agreed with the Indians that there would be no violence between the two groups. At that time, one of the captain's men slashed the captain's face with a knife because he disagreed with the decision that the captain had made. Captain William Strong sent several men to inform the other settlers that the two groups had found peace. The chief's cause of death is still unknown, but the following theory is the most likely reason. The chief earned one of the cavalry company of the territorial militia uniforms as a symbol of peace between the two groups. Shortly after the celebration, the chief was killed. One of the Indians that didn't have knowledge of this mistook him for one of Strong's men, therefore shooting and killing his own chief. The name Battleground was originally made to mock Captain Strong for backing out of a battle against Chief Umtouch and his group. There was a great amount of people that despised the two leaders for their decision. The ultimate goal of the two sides was to win the war. However, the captain and the chief had the ability to see the big picture and how peace was truly the ultimate goal. The battle at Battleground played a big role in ending the Yakima Indian War. The battle did not only cause that one group of Indians to become peaceful, it influenced nearby troops and tribes to understand that peace could easily be found in all of the small battles of the war. Captain William Strong and Chief Umtouch took a stand in history when the two met. There was much violence expected of the two groups. However, when they met, the captain was not sure that he wanted to resort to violence. After negotiations, the captain let the Indians go if they promised to come back the next day. They returned the next day to decide that there would be no battle. Some of the captain's men were not very happy with his decision, but by making this decision, the two leaders definitely took a stand in history.